Good day, everyone. My name is Varnessa Kayen Varlyngton, a climate change advocate and environmentalist, and welcome to the second episode of RISECT. If you don't know, RISECT stands for River State, Environmental and Climatic Threats, and on this podcast, we'll be talking everything about the environment and climate change effects in River State. So, today's topic is really special. What is the reality like for people living in River State in relation to environmental degradation? Now let's understand this term, environmental degradation. What do you think environmental degradation is? For me, environmental degradation is the deterioration of our environment that affects the water, the air, the soil, disruption of nature's balance and ecosystem, and also the extinction of wildlife. This is environmental degradation. Now, common degradations in River State. Before we know what the reality is like, let's understand these terminologies. What are the common environmental degradations in River State? Air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, improper disposal of waste, and lack of sanitation. These are the common degradations in River State. And we have other ones, but these are the major ones. How has it disrupted nature's balance in the state? Yes, we know this environmental degradation is not good. It affects both human health and the environment. Now, what are the things that it has affected? It has affected agriculture. That's things that, like, some crops can't grow properly again. They can't grow properly. Another thing that environmental degradation has affected and destroyed nature's balance is the change in season and weather patterns. We see that Harmattan is coming earlier than usual, rainy season is taking time to come, or it stays longer for a longer period of time. Change in season and weather patterns. Another thing that this environmental degradation has affected is marine life. When you hear marine life, what comes to your mind? Like sea creatures, fishes, sharks, the oceans, the rivers. This is marine life. Things on creatures under the water. Under the water. Now, has it disrupted nature's balance and affected marine life? Fishes and other aquatic creatures live in this inside water. That's the rivers. And oil spillage, oil spillage leads to water pollution, plastic pollution, ocean acidification. All this affects the fishes and other creatures, leading to extinction. And remember, we said wildlife extinction is also known as environmental degradation. This is how it has affected fishes, leading to degradations, fish extinctions, and so much more. So, effects of environmental degradation to the inhabitants of the states. We have seen how it affected nature's balance, leading to the loss of habitats and so much more. But how does it affect us humans? How does it affect us humans? What do you think? Yes, number one thing, health. It affects human beings' health. We hear lung diseases like asthma and the rest. Also, food poisoning. Yes, food poisoning, because imagine eating fish that has been affected due to oil spillage in the water, and you go and eat that fish. It leads to food poisoning and other diseases that can affect health. It can also lead to a viral disease. Who knows? There are many health issues that are caused by environmental degradation. So health is one thing. 2, education. I'm wondering. I know you guys are wondering too. How does this environmental degradation affect education? How does it affect education? Like, we're wondering. We know that, yes, I can agree with you that it affects health. But how does it affect education? Remember in episode 1, I told you that there was a period that children go to school to learn. Due to heat waves and change in weather and season patterns, it affects them in the classroom, making them uncomfortable. They'll shift like this. Or sometimes they will have to go out of the classroom to learn, making it uncomfortable, carrying their books on their leg. These things affect education, the child's education. Who are the most vulnerable? Who are the most vulnerable people in Rivers State and all over the world that are suffering from environmental degradation? Yes, we know it's children, because their bodies are still developing. We know that. So it makes them hard to adjust to temperature. Like, if the temperature is too hot, do you think a child can survive? And remember, they are dependent on others, also the elderly. So the most vulnerable are both children and the elderly. This is why we need to tackle the problem of environmental degradation. So how is life like now in Rivers State? Yes, we are suffering from global warming. Global warming is caused by the depletion of the ozone layer. So I know ozone layer, this is another term I need to explain. Ozone layer, this is a layer that's found within the stratosphere, in the atmosphere, that stops or prevents the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Yes, the sun is also a source of radiation. Did you know that? Let's learn that today. Okay, so radiation affects. We know how radiation causes cancer and other diseases. So the sun, it gives us these UV rays. And the duty of that ozone layer in the stratosphere is to like hold the UV rays, prevent it from entering and affecting us humans. That's a good thing, right? I know. But why are we still suffering from global warming? Why are we still suffering from heat waves? It is all due to human activities. And here in Rivers State, the temperature is rising. That's leading to oceans getting hotter, the rivers. We on land are suffering from the temperature, heat waves, global warming. And it all goes down to human activities. This ozone layer is there. It's still functioning, but we're destroying it through the release of harmful gases like carbon monoxide and other gases that are not supposed to be going up there. But we keep burning fossil fuels. We keep cutting down trees and so much more. Because of this, the ozone layer is depleting. It's weakening. And we need to revive it. It's not once that we can fix all the holes in the ozone layer, but the little actions we take can contribute for a better future. That's how life is right now here. We're suffering from global warming, heat waves, loss of biodiversity, yes. The fishing industry is not booming. Everybody's facing on oil and other things. Agriculture is affected. So desert encroachment too. So we're living, finding ourselves, working so hard. Life is hard. Remember, if there's environmental justice, not only technology that makes life easier, also environmental justice. If things are working the way they should, then we'll live easier lives. Our crops will be growing well. There will not be diseases wouldn't be so common. People will live longer life. The type of environment you stay increases your lifespan. Did you know that? If you stay in an environment that is too hot, hotter than normal, that person's lifespan will reduce. If you keep eating food that is being poisoned, it affects your digestive system and so much more. So environmental justice is really important, and we need environmental justice in Rivers State, in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the whole world. So what actions have been taken? Yes, the United Nations have brought out environmental rights. Yes, we have social rights, cultural rights, and so much more. But environmental rights, they exist, but you hardly hear people talking about environmental rights. And most of these environmental rights are not taught in schools. Like we know that we have the right to live, the right to free education, we have the right to freedom of association, freedom of movement. We know all these rights, but the younger generation and people who don't know should be taught their environmental rights. Do you know your own environmental rights? We need air that is clean, water safe to drink, wildlife is thriving, temperature is perfect, a land that is healthy. These are our environmental rights. We need non-toxic food substances, proper consumption of goods. These are our environmental rights. The right to a clean and safe environment. And these rights are not common. They don't teach them. We need these rights to be taught. Educate those who do not know their environmental rights. This is one step to be taken to achieve environmental justice. These are the actions that have been taken. Yes, they have brought out these rights. But what are the actions we need to take to tackle the problem of environmental injustice, environmental degradation? We need to take actions. What are these actions? Practice afforestation, not deforestation. Educate the younger generation. Proper consumption of goods. Sanitation is important. Remember, I mentioned something about land pollution. We know air pollution and water pollution include soot, oil spillage, plastic pollution. What about the land? Sanitation is important. That's why we have proper consumption of goods and proper disposal of these goods. Don't just trash them on the road. The land is deteriorating if you keep polluting it with plastics and so much more. Another action we need to take is to reduce the amount of plastics we use. Practice the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. These are the actions we need to take. What actions have I not said? You can write them in the comment sections and see how you can take these actions. Start planning. Reduce your carbon footprint. So, I've talked a lot. And I know you understand why environmental justice is important. How life is for people living in river states. How we're suffering. So, you can share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thank you for listening. And remember to take actions. Love you all. Save the earth, save our planet.